One of my favorite television shows to watch is called The Deadliest Catch. You may have seen this before. It's about a group of crab fishermen up in Alaska fishing in the Bering Sea. What they deal with up there fascinates me. They've got huge waves. The weather is terrible. There's ice all over the boats, and it's very dangerous, especially if you're out on the deck all the time. Many times I watch the captains as they're looking over the deck. They're always seeing for something that could go wrong, and it goes wrong a lot. One of the most common things that they do is they drop the fishing pots where the crabs come into the water. And they do it over and over, probably over 1,000 times a season. But those little moments can be very dangerous. When they dropped the crab pot in the water, they threw string and they threw a buoy over it so they could come back and get it. The problem is if you're standing by the string and your boot is in that little loop, you're gone. You're in the water and you're probably going to die. Sin is like that in our lives. Before we know it, it's got us ensnared, and we're going to suffer the consequence of it. What I'd like you to discuss now as a group are what are some of the things in your life that can tangle you up.
Hi, have you ever seen one of those ads for leasing a new car for an amazingly cheap price? Like the other day I saw a great car to lease for $199 a month. I looked at it and I went, wow, that sounds good, great looking car. Then I noticed it was small print at the bottom of the page. As I just squinted to read that small print, here's what it said. It said there was a 2-year contract. You could only drive 12,000 miles a year, and then you had to pay a certain amount for every mile after that. And they wanted $3,600 cash up front when you signed up for the lease. So in order for me to get a $199 a month lease, I had to give them $3,600 cash. Now that adds up to a total of $8,326 for 2 years, or $349 a month is the actual cost of the car. That's $150 more than the $199 advertised. Strings attached, small print. It's a great illustration of how sin comes with strings attached. Things we don't see when we drift into temptation. Things we don't see that surprise us later. Sometimes the things we don't see come from within us. You know, Jeremiah says the heart of man is deceitfully wicked above all else. Who could know it? Some of those things come from within us, and we deny them, and they sneak up on us, and we're caught. Some things come from outside of us. There's a temptation that comes our way that we just can't get our attention off of. It grabs us emotionally, it grabs us psychologically, and it just look at it and wow, I have to have that. Sometimes those temptations come from outside. They're triggered by outside experiences. Sometimes we have a negative character trait or a sinful tendency that can pop up in our lives when the occasion presents itself. It's like the great basketball player who gets angry at the ref in a close game and says things that he shouldn't say to the ref. The ref gives him a technical foul, kicks him out of the game. The other team wins because they get an extra 2 foul shots, and this great player is now in the locker room, so the other team is going to win the game. Great player, bad tendency, messes him up when the going gets tough. Or how about a really, really nice person who's a shopaholic? A person who's just great to be around but loves to spend money, drives their family to the edge of bankruptcy. Nice person, sinful undercurrent in their life. We all have those undercurrents. Sin comes with strings attached. Each of us lives with small print in our lives. We don't want other people to see that small print. Sometimes the small print becomes magnified when the right kind of temptation drifts by to pull it out of us. But we don't want other people to see the ugly stuff. We need to understand that the truth is that God sees it all. He wants us to have other people in our lives who can see that stuff too, that we can share those things with to help us have preventative accountability. Think of someone you really, really trust with the real you, and thank God for that person. As you discuss this chapter, Sin Comes with Strings Attached, think about how God can help you get untangled from the sinful undercurrents in your life. God bless you as you study.